Hi everyone, welcome to Follow Your Heart here on the Natural Parent Magazine. I'm Ann Cullen, and today I want to talk about sleep and the holidays. So in particular for those of us in the Southern Hemisphere, when we're going into summer, this can be a very, very tricky time of year to manage nap times and bedtimes the way we have been. And even if you're in the Northern Hemisphere and you're in winter, this is still a time with family, parties, gatherings, and just so much that we want to be doing that maybe we wouldn't normally be doing. And I think the first thing I want to say about this is it's really important to just follow what your child needs. And sometimes that's easier said than done because we can get really wrapped up in feeling like we're missing out as mom or as parents on things that we want to be doing. We feel like we're being limited by our children, and sometimes we can get guilted into doing things that don't feel comfortable for us. But the truth is, you are the only person that has to deal with your child 24/7. It really is your responsibility to stand up for what your family needs and not worry about what anyone else is thinking or feeling about that. So if you're the mom that needs to be off breastfeeding your child or laying down with your child for a nap time or to get them off to bed, don't feel bad about that. Maybe have a backup plan so that you know, say if you're entertaining, that you've got your partner or somebody there to look after your guests if you need to be off with your young child for that time so that you can feel comfortable doing that. And just accept that, next year it might not be this way. So the next thing we kind of need to keep in mind is whatever your child is used to, you want to do that most of the time. You could think of it kind of like the 80-20 rule. If 80% of the time the naps and the bedtime happen around the times they usually do in the way that you're used to managing them most days, keep that up for about 80% of the time. And then if there's a really late night or a nap that needs to be done maybe in a way that you're not used to, then probably you'll all get by just fine. So, for example, if you are used to breastfeeding your child to sleep and they're getting really, really distracted by the people around you or the activities around you, and they're just not able to get off to sleep, you might have to switch things up a bit and either go home, go off in another room, just do whatever it takes to let your child find their sleep. So sometimes this might mean for a little bit, you're going to miss out on whatever's going around, whatever's happening. Try to make some peace with that and remember that you need some downtime too. And see if you can just enjoy that time off with your child to get some rest you need, maybe even to look at your phone if that's what you want to do. But try to find the positives in that time off with your child. Now, when it comes to late night gatherings, this can be, tricky to manage. For our family, it meant leaving parties or gatherings earlier than sometimes the adults in the family wanted to. But we knew our kids wouldn't sleep in the morning, and we were the ones that were going to have to deal with them the next day, not anybody else. So no matter what anyone thought of us and our choices, we chose to just leave and go home and let our children sleep in their beds like they wanted to. So just do what works for your family. Now, when it comes to really young children, one thing that can get them really kind of off center is all that contact with people, wanting to hold them and play with them. And we can sometimes let them go a little bit too far with beyond where we thought they could manage, and then all of a sudden they're completely losing the plot. So another thing I want to say here is, if you find there are times during these upcoming holidays where your child is throwing the biggest tantrums, having the hugest meltdowns, then yes, it's an indication that they've gone a little bit too far, but it doesn't mean that you've done anything wrong. It's just bound to happen a few times over the next several weeks. So don't beat yourself up about it, but maybe adjust whatever you're doing so that you can try to minimize those things from happening. So, hey, join me on Friday and New Zealand time, and we can chat more about this. Ask me your questions, whether it's around holidays or anything regarding sleep. That will be the focus for Friday. And you can always ask me your questions beforehand if you can't join me then. So until Friday, enjoy your sleep for now, and I will see you then. Bye, everyone.